week. See if there's something that we could work together on. Okay, give me. Okay, there we go. Finally, Jesus Christ, that was hard. I think we're now streaming to YouTube as well. Very nice. Let me just move this to a different screen as well. Actually, no, I don't like that. I don't want it like this. I think wasn't there like a three window type of thing? Yeah, exactly. Maybe like this. And then like this. Yes, nice. I like that a lot. Yes, beautiful. Okay. Give me 2 seconds, my friends. All right, are we good? Can we hear each other well? Is music too loud before we start some coding? Let me know if things are well. And then we start hacking away a bit. And good evening, everybody, in case some people have joined already. Awesome. Well, good evening, Craft. Good to see you again. Good evening, everybody. It's gonna be a relatively short stream. I need to go to the gym, so it's gonna be up to 2 hours. My gym works until midnight, so I'm gonna go at 11. So I have an hour to long lead. Good evening, buddy. Thank you for tuning in from YouTube and sending a message. I appreciate it. By the way, I found this service on this guy's, what's his name, Fire something on YouTube. This guy that makes tech videos, Fire like something, what's his name, I don't know. And it's actually quite awesome. I think I'm gonna pay. It's basically a platform where you can get inspired for the UI type of stuff. Fireship, exactly. So Fireship advertised this, and I just went, and actually it's quite awesome. So I think this is going to help us in our streams a lot, because you can, for example, find, this is just a bunch of UI examples to get inspired by. So for example, I don't know, say you're building, I don't know, something educational. I can see here Duolingo and stuff. And you can see, of course, when we get the premium, it's gonna, but I actually like this a lot, because UI and UX especially are two hardest things to get right when building any product, right? So let me just smack it here. I think I did it like Fireship. Yeah, I copied it from his, so let me just paste it here. That's apparently that gives us some like benefits. I don't know, like some cheaper whatever thing. Okay, join now. Yearly, quarterly. Yeah, the pricing kind of sucks ass though, like forcing people between these two options. I don't. Okay, but I'll have my my CTO buy this tomorrow, and then we'll use this probably to get some inspiration when building things, because I can see that there's like a bunch of stuff. Okay, anyway, that's beside the point. Let's let's get started a bit. So last night I've streamed, right? And we've been working on this meetups feature, right? That I want to finish. So now when I'm also streaming, I can use Programming Network, so you guys can sign up and stuff like that. Let me actually try to pin this crap. Wait, I had this tool before when I used to stream, where I could just type these commands. Shit, give me 1 moment. I'll just do this. And I'll just pin this. That's what you guys at least always tell me to do. So programmer.network. What? Shield mode. What is shield mode, man? No, I don't want that. What the hell? No, what's happening, man? It says that I enabled slow mode or some bullshit. No, I don't want that. I want people to send messages. What? How do I... No, dude, like... Oh my god, I'm sorry, guys. Give me a second. I misclicked on every possible thing. Like, this is the series of misclicks that I've never seen before. Wow. What? No, I don't want that, man. Okay, off. Then slow mode. Off. Jesus Christ. Okay, sorry for that. Should be fine now, right? All right, so it should be fine now, right? All right, cool. So so we're gonna get back to this now. Obviously, we have still backend stuff to work on. And last night we kind of worked on this for notifications. Somebody just sent some message so I know the chat works. And so we kind of get back to this, to the cron job we did. We need to... Okay, good. I think it still works. Thank you, Maddie. Okay, let me just go quickly through a couple of things that we've done. I mean, for the most part, they're good. And then I think if we take a look at the Docker Compose, I think I've added like bull MQ dashboard, which I've actually added to the README, and it should be now running here, right? So yeah, so here we can actually, and you can see we have 2 failed jobs, which is awesome, right? But at least we can kind of use this UI. It's just a Docker image, and you can see like when we try to send an email, it seems. Big Blaster, man, good to see you again, dude. Thank you very much, buddy. Yeah, good to see you. Yeah, I haven't streamed in like 8 months or something. So a lot of people have said that, and I was happy to get that feedback back because, yeah, for sure. I'm not gonna repeat myself, but I have, while I was gone, I've created this resource. This is kind of my infrastructure now. So our Kubernetes cluster now looks like this. I have around 4 mini PCs, 4 Raspberry Pis in a cluster, micro SD cloud router switch, and this guy was, so take a look at this if you care now. This is work in progress. I'm still working on this. But this is, so we have our own, that's why I call this, I have built my own little like hosting provider at home, right? That's why I call it building a mini data center with Kubernetes. So this is awesome, and we're gonna do this over the next year a lot, as I haven't documented everything, especially not for Kubernetes. But there are some nice visualizations that I made here for Kubernetes. For example, anatomy of Kubernetes YAML files. I kind of visualized it here. If you want to learn Kubernetes, anatomy of kubectl command. This is the core command of Kubernetes when you're working with CLI. Well, like, hey, show me my Kubernetes nodes and stuff like that. And then showcasing some of the other tools of Kubernetes, right? Like going to this is my current home cluster, right? Etc. 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 So we'll for sure work with that, no question about that. But this I'll have to continue work, because there's Velero that I haven't documented. I haven't documented bunch of stuff, and it's quite complex. So I mostly want to document it for myself, not necessarily for others. This the backup portion is kind of obsolete. I need to rewrite this. Because I need to rewrite this part, because right now it's very different. I used to do this before. Now I'm using Velero and Longhorn built-in backups. Actually, I'm not running it right now. I believe I'm not port forwarding it, but I'm using Longhorn as our as you can see, distributed storage. And Longhorn has built-in backups, so it's basically Longhorn plus Velero. But anyway. Not to go too far with that. We'll do for sure that type of stuff. Rebecca, yeah, AI streamer. I wish. Okay, so all right, so that's great. So let's get back to things, right? I did after I came back from work today. I've been, of course, with my wife and kids, but then I kind of, indeed, I did, not really vibe code, but I did a bit of UI improvements for some of these views, because that's not very super fun to do in the stream, especially for people not watching it. Actually, I was trolling my colleagues today at work, because our Circle CI didn't work. We use GCP at work, but Circle CI didn't work. GitHub was struggling a bit, even though GitHub is hosted on Azure. And there were a bunch of other services, and I was so proud saying how I have my own data center at home and how my things are working, right? But it's actually quite funny, man. Like when it comes to security and stuff, you can see how our Western services and like, for example, like I don't know, a Circle CI being down for a day, who cares, right? But dude, some airports were completely shut down, right, and stuff like that. And when you base, like, you know, it's like if there is an actual warfare, like digital warfare or an actual war, right? It's crazy, right? Like you have no mitigation strategies there, right? So if like this is the irony. You remember when I spoke about my own infrastructure at home, like like if we take a look at my cluster right here, this is, you could say, an imitation of a real thing, right? So when we look at all of my components and all of the shit that I have, you could kind of like you could imagine that this is a real data center, right? And like when you think about building products, right? You always say, "Oh, my product is bulletproof and blah blah blah," right? And then boom, AWS is down, and now the fact that your fucking API super secured no longer matters, because your hosting provider is down. And it would be the same with, you know, like networking layer. So there's so many different layers of security, from a physical like standpoint, which is the data center itself, like a physical sense, to literally like a networking layer, cables getting to that building, and then networking layer itself, like switches and routers and stuff. Then goes the host level layer, like machines and racks and whatever. And there's so many things that can fail. And like sometimes you can just plan, like you think that, man, we are bulletproof, our this and this is secure, then shit, your hosting farts out and your product doesn't work, right? It's right. It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, I have very crazy predictions. I have a couple of, so I have some crazy predictions, honestly. My prediction is that a lot of world will eventually move back to bare metal. This is, to be honest, one of the reasons also why I have my own bare metal again at home. And my prediction is based on several things. Number one thing is that open source tools today are so good that going back to bare metal is a lot easier than it used to be. Number two, internet connections in general are so good today that like office spaces, for example, have 10 gigabits connections, right? That is sufficient to serve almost half of the country's websites, let alone your own, right? Cloud is for most companies cost effective. I would not throw that metric so easily out of, you know, where cloud is amazing. Nobody disagrees with that. But we're not talking about cost now. Like I think this is we're talking about data governance. We're talking about we're not talking about that, right? Cloud, everything is cloud. Every single service you pay online or someone else's computer is considered cloud. We're not talking about that. I don't have a problem people using AWS, right? I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem that people couple their products deeply intertwined to these services, like these cloud providers specific services, which can ruin their business. So let me give you an example. If your infrastructure is based on Docker, you can move that stuff anywhere very easily. Like you can move from one service to another very easily. But if you, for example, use GCP and you're using Dataform, you're using Datastore, you're using whatever, right? Then, well, Docker cannot be down. Docker is a runtime, right? So that cannot be down, right? So and you can of course have your own image repository that you run, right? So the problem isn't AWS or GCP in a sense of, oh, I'm hosting something there. The problem is once you are fully reliant on, you know, like services which are bound to these providers, then that is a problem, right? That is a problem. Your message is to stay. I mean, no, not really. I mean, it's like the web developer said. I mean, cloud is awesome, and indeed, for many companies, it's the only solution, right? For in many ways, it can be a lot cheaper than having dedicated team that you have to pay salaries for. So it has the point is like, no, actually, I do have a point, and I'm gonna be clear about it. If you're building a company and designing your infrastructure from ground up, try your best to design it so it's agnostic of cloud providers. So I'm not saying don't use cloud providers. Fuck yeah, use them. You don't want to be maintaining infrastructure. You want to be building the product. But try to not couple yourself directly to these services that only these providers provide. So for example, if you're using BigQuery in GCP, BigQuery as a big data warehouse has its own variation of SQL. It has also its own UDFs called unified some functions. It has right. So if you base your whole infrastructure on these things and these services are down, you're fucked, because you cannot just move GCP BigQuery somewhere else, right? So try to use, if you're using cloud providers, that's great, but use standard services like Postgres or MongoDB, Cassandra, Redis. Try not to lock yourself to these vendors, because when you lock yourself to these vendors, locking yourself out is, in many cases, almost impossible, or it's gonna cost you so much, right? Well, you're wrong, right? You're wrong because let me tell you why. If your infrastructure is Docker Swarm or Docker Compose, if you do regular backups, you can switch your infrastructure in an hour anywhere else. So imagine that you had 5 images running in AWS, and the AWS goes down. Your mitigation strategy could be just updating your NS servers or whatever, DNS, blah, 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 and spawning that same shit on Hetzner or Cloudflare, or DigitalOcean or anywhere in no time, right? Because your images are agnostic, they're cloud provider agnostic. That is the difference, right? They don't have to run on AWS or GCP. They can run anywhere. So that is the thing, right? Exactly. So I mean, I've seen this. I worked in companies where this became a problem, and this can literally almost ruin the whole company. Because the thing is, if this doesn't become apparent up front soon, you can write so much code and like that's very bound to these specific services that eventually, if the time comes, because it's not just that these things are down. Think about it this way as well. It's actually, that's not even the worst what can happen. Imagine that your company is using BigQuery, and BigQuery now costs X number of dollars per petabyte transferred. And you calculate your COGS, cost of goods sold. So you say, this is acceptable price relative to our COGS, because we need to stay competitive on the market as a startup, right? So our price of our product per customer is X. And then one day you wake up and Google now raised the price of that service by 30%. That can literally destroy your company completely, because now it means that the share that you make is marginal, and your customers maybe are already paying too much for your service, so you can't raise your own price. Or if you do, you're gonna... So there's so many things that can go wrong if you lock yourself to these things. Yeah, I mean also that, but I think just like these are AWS, GCP, Azure, a bunch of these companies, they're great, and you offload the problem to them, and then you can build your product. But as long as you don't use their flagship services, and they like that, they want you to do that. When the customers that use their own like GCP gateway, APG, etc., they love that because you do click ops, you don't even do like infrastructure as code or whatever bullshit, and then they know that now you're locked in their dashboards. You don't have any commits. You don't have infrastructure defined through any like Terraform or anything like that, and then you're fucked, right? So I've seen this, and it's terrible. When it happens, it can destroy a company. I shit you not. Shit you not. All right. Well, but nice chat. It's interesting one. I would, yeah, always be super careful about these things. Alrighty. So let's get back to this crap. I really would like to finish this once and for all, and at least start using. I want to start using it for my own stream so people can sign up and see what I'm doing and shit like that, right? So okay. So we have this. This is my team. This is actually in Google offices here in Copenhagen. So this was taken. We went to some GCP event here in Copenhagen. So this was there. Cheap ass. I mean, I think that AWS CEO said a couple of weeks ago that now they're generating 70% of their code at Amazon. 70% of code is generated by AI. That's what he said, and it's making this outrage even more hilarious due to that. I expect a lot of memes coming to the internet. All right, I don't know. Maybe it's bullshit then, yeah. I see. All right. So we did this last night. The subscription bullshit. Yes. Okay. Let's start coding. I'm talking a lot of crap. As you can see here in the left, I've used some AI for the UI. All right. So Actually, just to be clear, I read the report. I read the no, I'm actually lying. Sorry. I watched one of the latest podcasts from Pragmatic Developer podcast. Very good one. I would suggest it. And there was some girl in it that does statistics and stuff on this AI bullshit. And actually, so when Microsoft said that, or actually Microsoft or Google, when they said that around 30% of the code is generated by AI in their organization, what they actually thought, not what they thought, what they actually meant, what they actually said was that they measured that by the amount of autocompletes in their programmer editors. So if I come here and say const logger is new logger, this is now considered part of these statistics. And honestly, is that AI? Sure. But there's a vast difference between this type of programming, which is still we've been using AI, like autocomplete in a different shape or form for 30 years, right? But this is vastly different than saying 30% of our code is written by AI, because that's not true. Just because a developer gets a suggestion and reads it and discards it, because they never measure those that got discarded or changed. They only measure amount of tabs pressed. So that metric is a vanity metric. It's like it's completely stupid, right? So I think in this context, I think AI is awesome because AI as an assistant indeed is fascinating. It is so powerful. Like, it made us programmers so much more powerful, right? So there's vast difference between going and saying build the whole product for me type of garbage, and then using these amazing tools to achieve some good results, right? That, like, insanely huge difference. Exactly. Okay. All right. So one thing that I want to see now is, like, how can we test our cron scheduler? So last night we decided not to use anything like PubSub or RabbitMQ or anything like that. So the core question right now remains, we have this bullMQ queue that we kind of generated. Oh my God, Panosa is here. Good evening, buddy. Yes, I'm so happy I came back to stream. Panosa is here, my right hand. Sako and Panosa. Dude, good to see you, man. Good to see you. Thank you for coming, man. I know you haven't missed me. Like, I knew what you're gonna say. So, to my defense, I mean, yes. All right, let me review this from last night. So we have meetup notification worker. So basically we have bullMQ. It's using our Redis instance. How's life going? All good? Yeah, man. We had a new. I have a new child. He's 3 months old now, so we are 4 now. Work is awesome. Yeah, I mean, overall, dude, very good, very good. Not much to say. I haven't streamed in like 8 months up until this week. And I'm so happy to be back. It's so fun, and I missed you guys, and I missed kind of doing this in the evening sometimes when I have the time. But honestly, yeah. Revaz, hey, buddy, good evening. Baby by mail. No, the bird brought the baby. No, yeah, my wife was obviously pregnant for 9 months, so I kind of approximately stopped streaming around the time when kind of we found out that she's pregnant. But I just haven't felt, honestly, to stream. I did a lot of stuff offline and focused on some other things, but as I said many times, this stream is a fun thing for me, and I don't think I'll ever in my life stop streaming. It's just, there's going to be times when I'm going to stream several times a week, and sometimes when I'm not going to stream for a month. And I kind of came to that realization, and it's just very relaxing. I remember when I started streaming, that was very stressful, and like I didn't know where is this leading to, and then it all kind of came together, and it just became something that's nice to do, because I realized that there's really no benefits besides meeting you guys, coding together, having fun. Besides that, it's very useless, right? So this is relaxing. Absolutely, I relax with you guys for sure. So it's good that I kind of made a break as well, because it kind of taught me some things. Yeah, all right, let's code, guys. Let's code. Too much talk. I don't know what better means. There's no word better doesn't exist in programming. There's that word makes 0 sense in programming. Silicon top on the bottle, yep. All right, so let's see. So here we have the notification worker that we... Okay, let's actually... I think right now we're kind of doing this backwards. Alex, many of your advices helped me to crave my way into finding a job. It's not full-time, but it's kind of a huge project with contains... Man, that's Ravaz, that's my pleasure to hear, man. My pleasure to hear. That is exactly the effect I try to leave on people here. And thank you, man. That's good. That is every time I hear that, and luckily you're not the first one who said that. That's awesome, man. That is effect that I want to leave on people when they watch me. not sell them some bullshit, what is it called, influencer type of crap, right? Okay, what is the error, Matty? Can you show me, because I can fix that immediately. Why do I have the sig term here? I mean, I have a sig. Oh, never mind. This is good. This is good. Okay. But are you not seeing that error in the UI? You should be seeing, unless maybe I introduce some regression. Wait, let me check. You should be like getting that crap. Yeah, are you not seeing this? Huh. The file size is 200 kilobits. Really? Okay, let me see. Who is this super sexy boy? Ah, look at this guy. Jesus. Whew. Whew. It works. No, it works. I mean, maybe because I'm also super hot, so that's why. Because you know, I have. Yeah, for you see, this image is 400. This image is 500 kilobytes, and I can actually upload it. Okay, Panosa is here. I need to act like an adult. Panosa is here now. No bullshit shit. Okay, I'm sorry, Panosa. I apologize. So you can see, actually, it does work for me. It does work for me, Matty. I mean, it works on my computer, right? I mean, I can maybe send you my computer and then you can try. The fuck? Yeah, this is 400 kilobits here, but then I do some compression, blah, blah, blah. Huh. Fuck, that's interesting. Okay, I mean, we can, if it really ends up like not working, then we need to check it out. Okay, so let me now get back to this a bit, please. Okay, so as you can see here, when our app gets initialized, we create this cron job here that has the pattern of 5 minutes. And, okay, wait, he sent me an image. I'm sorry. And then he sent me an image. Give me 1 second. Sure. Yeah, maybe, yeah, sure. Let's take a look at that. I mean, it's always golden when, okay. How do I download it? I don't use this Discord thing much. Download. Okay, cool. Great. Okay. Production. Let's go to Programmer Network. Profile. Edit. Profile. Select image. Oh, I see. Ah, so it does accept it for you. I see. Uh-huh. So I think this is an extension problem, because I can see that my image is PNG and that works. Let me actually test that. I'm sorry. Give me 2 seconds. Let me thank you first and foremost, Matty. Thank you. This is good to know, because this fucking sucks. This should not be the case. I do have massive validation for image uploads, so for sure, it's something there. So let's take a look at it together. User's avatar. Okay, let's, yeah, wait. No, but I mean, look, I built all of these things long ago, right? So for sure there can be an issue somewhere, right? Because I'm using AI as well to ensure that images are not pornographic and stuff. So there's a lot of stuff. When you upload that avatar, there's a lot of shit happening. from compression to validation to blah blah blah. So let's follow that up. So this is the code. So this is where we start. We say, hey, upload the image. So we're gonna get there. So I have some image service I wrote. So let's go there. So we parse the multi-part. So we get the files. We get the first file, which is the only one. We have the max size, blah blah blah, and then we have this upload image from buffer. So let's go there. We have max files, and then so this is the validation. So we have validate image, and I suspect it's going to be here. So you can see here I have this is safe, and this is where I actually shoot the image to OpenAI. So here I'm basically shooting the image to OpenAI, and you can see I say, hey, does this image contain any content that would be considered unsafe for a general audience? Nudity, sexual content. So instead of having a fucking, machine learning model or some, whatever, like this is super simple. Okay, anyway, let's go back here. You would have to upload so many images, yes. Where is it? So here, then we validate it. Okay, so let's see allowed meme types. This is what's allowed. But how is this possible, man? How is this 900 kilobytes? Let me try locally. That makes no, like, fuck, this is my reverse proxy. Wait. Why is this is my traffic? 3001. Let me try here locally. Where's the wait? Let's take a look at the stack trace here. If there is one. And we can see actually that our cron job works. Off topic, but this is so awesome. Great. Okay, so this, it's saying that this image is literally 976 kilobytes. That cannot be, right? Wait. Really can, okay. Yeah, image is too big. Image is too big. I just reduced it and it works. Oh, fuck. Revaz, are you still there, man? I just saw your messages. Please let me know if you're there and I'll answer your messages. No, I don't think I changed the format, did I? Let's see. No, it's still the same format. Still the same format. I just reduced it. So Windows, well, I mean, I am on Windows now technically as well, so I don't know. So yeah. I don't know, my bro. Or Panosa is probably right. I don't know. Yatus, good evening, friend. Thank you very much for sending a message. Okay, I have no idea what's happening. But maybe yet another thing to maybe try and fix. Okay, but please bear with me. I don't want to fix this now, even though I don't know if there is anything to fix there. No, the UI does all the conversions and compression. I can show you that in a minute. Why you don't use Linux? I use Linux, man. All of these services that we're developing are running in Linux. Okay, so the cron job works. So this works. We add this every 5 minutes to our queue. So let's kind of follow that up a bit. And then we have create queue config, which is this, sure. And then we have this queue name, which is somewhere here. And then we have process job. And this is essentially the logic that's supposed to run. If we go to our bull board here, let's actually make this run. Let's make this thing run every 1 minute. How do I actually make this run every 5 seconds? Let's just run it every 5 seconds. I mean, this is BullMQ, so that's why I'm saying I'm sure that in BullMQ they have different ways you can write this. You can use the pattern syntax, but then you can also do it in a different way. I just don't remember which way, so we can probably read the docs or just let this guy read docs for us, which it will, right? Yeah. Okay, great. Okay, so let's see now here. We should in theory be seeing it. Hopefully. Actually, let's take a look at the logs. Yeah, so here it is, job, repeat, notification processing, found 0 notifications to send, very good. So that, because indeed there are 0 notifications to send, so that's correct. And that's because you can see here we try to get notifications based on some criteria, right? Then we do some left joins and stuff, blah, blah, blah. We have a transaction. And then here, essentially, we're saying, hey, well, actually, there's no notifications to send. Now, if I, in theory, test our UI feature here, and I say, hey, actually notify me 1 hour before, and we go to my database and we take a look at meetup event notifications. So we do actually have one notification which is set for 21st, which is tomorrow, no? In your opinion, what is the best way to learn to code, whether it be coding in a more efficient, smarter way or learning a new language? I think today the quickest way you can learn programming languages is to use AI, to use like Gemini's guided learning or something like that. Of course, if you're a complete beginner, it's going to be hard. Programming is fundamentally hard when you're learning it for the first time. Again, when I say hard, it's not that the syntax is hard. It's just becoming an engineer requires a specific mental training model. So learning to think more and learning to think right is hard, right? Learning to question things, learning to raise the correct questions, learning to... So these things are hard and they take time. And like, there's no silver bullet to like learning a syntax and learning to make something happen when you write some code. That's not hard. But moving to greater heights of programming, that just takes time, like as it does in tennis or football or basketball, right? You can learn all the rules and you can learn how to perfectly put your knees down or not fall back on the ball, but until you hit that ball million times, right? So the best way to learn anything is to do it, right? If you want to learn math, you have to solve math problems. If you want to learn how to draw, you have to buy a bunch of empty white papers and draw. And if you want to learn to program, you need to program a lot. And I would say that Gemini's, so this thing, if we go to new chat and you go guided learning here, this is probably, in my opinion, the best way to learn a new language, right? So for example, you can come here and say, hey, I am a Golang programmer and I want you to teach me JavaScript in 3 hours, mapping the concepts that I already know, etc., package management, concurrency, and what was it? Pareto rule. What was it? Pareto rule. And Pareto 80-20 rule. Something like this, right? So let's actually see together. So you do this. And this is from all the things that I've seen, probably one of the best ways to learn a new language, new basically anything pretty much. So this is kind of what I would advise any of you who want. You're gonna see. So basically, so when you're learning a new language, it's imperative. So if you're an expert in one language, learning any other language should be relatively quick, with some exceptions. So for example, in Rust, there's some new concepts for memory management and concurrency that you could say are pretty new. In Go, you have structs, but they work slightly different than, let's say, in C++. So that might throw some people off, right? But most common patterns translate to most languages. So functions and loops and sometimes implicit coercion and OOP concepts like classes and constructors and inheritance, polymorphism, and a bunch of these things. But it's so important that you learn one language and these patterns once, and then, a singleton pattern is a singleton in every language. A factory pattern, whatever. For example, if you're learning PHP, you would maybe there are few concepts. You have OP cache in PHP. You have interpreter in PHP works a little bit weird. PHP exposes some global variables like called superglobals and stuff. So these are some of the exceptions relative to other languages. But PHP, for example, just like JavaScript, has implicit coercion. Its truthiness table sucks ass even more than JavaScript because how the interpreter works. So but fundamentally, if you learn the core concepts of programming, then using a tool such as this, like guided learning, is incredible, absolutely incredible. There's no most important pattern. You can only see patterns through experience, right? Patterns are things that manifest themselves through. Patterns are the thing that manifest themselves through experience. So, for example, many patterns that you will learn over time will manifest themselves to you before you even know their name. So pattern is not something that you let me spend this day to learn patterns, right? Patterns usually is something you come to conclusion to, and then one day you're like, oh shit, this is actually already given a name. But there's no best pattern. Patterns are just like there's no best tool for anything, right? As I always say, a hammer or a jigsaw or whatever. So patterns, you should guide yourself through failing through patterns. So for example, once you repeat like even when we talk about basic programming, like super basic, you're just starting, right? You would be reluctant to write the same code 5 times if you want to do the same thing 5 times. And then you learn that there's a function that can take arguments and you can call that function 5 times instead of duplicating the same code 5 times, right? So that's in a way a pattern almost. A function is a pattern, you could say, right? So I can reuse this unit of code to achieve the same thing when I need to achieve it, right? So you know, the best way to naturally learn patterns is to, and it's the same with tools. Like, for example, let me show you one thing. When I wrote this K3S guide, which is my home infrastructure, so as I said, this is my own server at home, I wrote the why here. And you can see here what I wrote, this sentence, which I really live by. It says, what I've learned over the last 2 decades of my career is that if you're wondering whether you need something, you probably don't. So in simple words, as I said here, these things usually come naturally as a result of the problems you encounter. The problem itself often guides you to the right tools, just like this one. In this context, I'm talking about Kubernetes. So if you're wondering, should you learn Kubernetes? You probably shouldn't. If you're wondering, should you learn X or Y? Of course, depending on the reasons of why you are asking that question. But fundamentally, these tools exist, and generally, as you're building things, awesome things, your research will guide you to the right tools, right? Through state management, caching, databases, what type of database you need. These things are the product of you building apps, not like, oh, I'm going to learn a time series database today. Like, why? Right? I mean, what are you gonna use? It's no different than saying I'm gonna learn to use Jigsaw today, right? It's equally stupid, right? You wake up and say I'm gonna learn how to use a hammer, right? So yeah, so you have to build things, and then by building them, you will be guided through the problems you encounter to these things. Whew, that was a long explanation. Jesus. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, core count. Exactly, Phil. Okay, so we have this cron job running now. We have a cron job running, and every 5 seconds. Awesome, great stuff. Oh, fuck, okay. Let me just, I don't know, what is this? Oh, this is the tool for my chat. Yes. Okay, sure, okay, so I literally haven't done anything this stream besides answering questions, so let me at least do one thing so I don't feel bad, even though I actually enjoy our discussions. It's just, yeah. Let me actually attempt to do one thing in a very primitive way, but I actually don't care. What if I literally update this date manually? I just update this timestamp shit. And I say, what is the time at my place now? 21:45. What if I say 22:45, assuming it's gonna guess the time zone and whatnot properly, okay? And then I do an update. Wait, is this still happening? And then let's see over here, notify at. How do I move this to the right? I forgot. I think there was a way. Yeah. Okay, because I need this crap. I need to look at this now. Okay. I think the problem here is this where clause that we have, right? That kind of we have notify less. Oh no, actually no. So okay, no, never mind. So find all the notifications that are less than or equal than the current date, which is now. But isn't this should? Ooh, fuck. But it. Wait a minute. Oh, I see. But how does this operator has some coercions or whatever? Does it know? Because new date is going to yield milliseconds in UTC or whatever, right? Or local time. But then here we have a string. So the way that we compare those is wrong, is it? Isn't it not? Isn't it not? Shit, is that double negation? I don't know. Who cares? Isn't it not? Yeah, it's a double negation. Isn't it not? Okay. Oh, fuck, what? Yeah, that's wrong. Yeah, that is wrong. That is completely wrong. Let's try like... Okay, now it found it. Yes, fuck yeah. Okay, good, great, super. No, stop it now. And it should have removed it now. Should have removed it now, right? Okay, great. No, this is good. No, okay, so now it's gonna continuously fail. That's literally what I want. Awesome. So now it's farting out. So, you know, we're trying to send an email and it's kind of farting out. Beautiful, that's good. Fail to send notification, bad request. Send notification to Alexander, blah, blah, blah. Okay, good. Great. So it's actually... Okay, besides the shitty time discrepancy that we have, which is terrible and that's painful to fix because I hate working with date and time in JavaScript. So this is good. So we have failed here most likely due to two reasons. ENVs, because this is not the proper ENV. Great, actually good, because I don't want to spam my SendGrid because I pay for it. So actually it works. So now the core question we have to ask here, right, is... I use the phrase definitely, maybe, man. I do the same. How do you keep organized? I tried my best, but more and more tasks I get, more I'm tied to deadlines in a hurry. I always end up messing my clean code. I don't know, Revaz, are you still there? If you are, I'll just say something and then I'll try to give my 5 cents on that. Okay, actually, to be honest, I don't have to do this specific part now. So this is good. This works. That's perfect. Like, that's all that I had to know. That's really all that I needed to know. So the only thing so what are we gonna do now? Why not? Is Let me just refresh this. Completed. Okay. It's actually weird that we're not seeing the completed ones here. What did I want to do? Fuck, I lost it. What did I want to do? Yeah. So if we go to SendGrid now, which I actually started paying for. Unfortunately, they killed the free tier, which is okay, I guess. Try guessing this password, bastards. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Two-factor auth 7311527. Fuck, incorrect code. What? Abort. Ah, that's a wrong service. Actually, Rebecca, I applied for that. So Cloudflare has. So Cloudflare, I applied for that, but bastards didn't actually. I don't know if you guys saw this. I was so happy because Cloudflare, as some of you know, is my absolute favorite company. So Cloudflare is releasing Cloudflare email service. I applied, bastards didn't give me the beta yet. As soon as I get access to this, I can't wait, man. I absolutely can't wait. It's gonna be awesome, dude. Then I can also use, because I use Cloudflare for so many things, then I can also use it for this type of stuff. And it's gonna be great, man. And you know who I found this about? CEO of Resend wrote about it on LinkedIn. I'm like, bro, why would you do that? Why would you do that? And he was like, I don't know. He was not complaining. He was saying, yeah, it's... So this guy, the CEO, like, and I'm like, man, I would have not known this at all. So you can see it actually hasn't been too far away. I don't actually know. I wish to know, is there any updates on this? But I'm looking forward to this. That's going to be... Once that comes out, I'm killing this bullshit, this SendGrid, and moving to that. Okay. So what we need to do now, right? Let's figure something out. If we go to email API dynamic templates here, confirm your email. I guess we could duplicate one of our existing templates and say meetup event notification. I don't know, man, why he did it. I respected that. I mean, his post was about like, oh, Cloudflare has announced that the users will be able to send emails. We at Resend are not scared of that because we provide great user experience, blah, blah, blah. And to his defense, they probably do, right? But I mean, I love Cloudflare, and that's, yeah. Okay, what is this? This is going to be, what is it called? Meetup event notification. And then over here, right, we need to kinda, so what could we do here? Let's think about this together. Together we're stronger. Together. Together. Okay, so this is our current kind of SendGrid bullshit. Yeah. All right, let me just adjust this crap here. Yeah, actually, yeah, sure. All right, AI, help me out here, bro. And then template ID, Where do I get that from? I forgot, to be honest. I actually have no idea. I haven't used this in a long time. Let me see. I think if I... Okay. I think if I go back and I click here. Yeah, here's the template ID. What a great UX. So apparent. Okay. Should probably keep this template ID in some sort of a const. But let's not worry too much about that. Subject is going to be... and these are the details we're going to have to brush up because notification... Yeah, so, yeah. This is slightly problematic now, I think. Or is it? Because, like, right now, this is how our notifications table looks like. So if we take a look at the definition of the table has the event ID. Obviously, it has a user ID, so it's kind of a junction between the user and that. We have a timestamp, but I think... Oh, actually, no. I think it's awesome. Fuck yeah. No. Oh, I'm so smart. Or am I? I am. We have the event ID, right? Which means... Yeah, shit. Ooh. I guess because I didn't want to build like the whole event-driven based system. Actually, no. This is such a low... Like... Yeah, I got it. Okay, so say we get the notifications. Say there is, in fact, a notification. Yeah, actually... Oh, yes. That's exactly... Oh, oof, so nice. Okay, so we're doing left joins here, as you can see. So because we have a user ID, we have primary keys there, we can actually, we just do the joins. So actually, we already have the information we need. We know what the meetup is, what the event is. Absolutely gorgeous, which means the subject can be event, yeah, is starting soon. Nah, not really, but something like that, right? This is a reminder that the event, blah, 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 from meetup is starting soon. Sure, it's a good start. And then I think what I would really like to do here, and that is the problem, I think if I take a look at my user table, I think I don't store the full URL of the user's avatar. Actually, I think I'm overthinking this a bit, but I wanna, yeah, I mean, actually, no, it's fine. I just maybe wanted to include the image of the organizer who is like organizing the meetup and stuff, but screw that for now. Let's not worry too much. Okay. And I think the only thing that we have to compute in a utility function, in fact, is probably this part. So somewhere here, just for now, I'll just literally, and then we're gonna move it to some utils. I'm gonna say const get subject, and then get pre-header. Yes. All right. Yes, sure, but that's, yeah. Come on. Yeah, we'll need to nuke this bullshit from here. Fine. Screw that. Ooh, I see. Ah, okay. Oh, I see. Yeah. Oh, all right. Oh, it's using a table. I mean, yeah, it's using a table because it's a, actually, fuck, let me write that down. Wait. Thank you, Penosa. Very good point. Open existing diagram. Is it this one? Yeah. Thank you. Just writing this crap down. Okay, but that's good. But okay, so bear with me for a moment. So if I take this super ugly tiny payload here, and I don't blame actually AI generated this, and I don't blame it because we all know how hard it is to nail the email style, right? I mean, honestly, shit, man. I mean, wow, this was awesome, dude. I mean, man, in 20 years of my career, one of the worst experiences I had was building email templates. And it's super easy often for Gmail and right, but then once you need to support, like we have to support Microsoft Outlook, Microsoft Outlook 2000 whatever 3 or some bullshit like that, Yahoo and shit. It's terrible, man. And there's to be honest, yeah. I mean, to be honest, this is great. This is, I mean, besides some colors and stuff that we can change, this is not absolutely disgusting at all. I think that's fine, to be honest with you. Yeah, I think that's acceptable by my standards. I think that's fine. Because I know this crap will work on every single email client. Great starting point. Great starting point. Nothing to complain about there. Nothing to complain about there, honestly. Literally gonna leave that. In fact, and what the fuck is this? Generate the email. What? What? Oh, I see. Or do I? Oh, I see. So, and then we return also this payload from here, do we? HTML. Ah, I see. So we have HTML, we have text, and we have the subject. No, that is fine. That is fine. I mean, the only kind of shitty thing, right? Yeah, actually, so this is great, I think. But let me actually still see if because this now becomes like, this is great. But I think we're now introducing discrepancy of where we're breaking the system that works. In simple words, right now, all of my templates are here, and now we're changing that rule. So fuck that. Let's actually try to not do that, right? So what I'm gonna do now quickly, I'll try to replicate that. I don't know what these guys here have. Do they have a table or something? Image and text, image, spacer, social code. Ah, they have code here. Okay, that is very interesting. Okay, very good, very good. Okay, because then we can interpolate these things and have the same. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that is better. That is better. So we keep the template here. We don't have that shitty, crappy template there. The SendGrid is one of the oldest services on the internet for sending emails, and they also offer these. They offer this kind of UI where you can kind of centralize your templates. So when you're sending an email from your API, you provide this template ID, you provide this dynamic template data, which you then interpolate inside of that template and that end. So essentially, instead of keeping this ugly HTML type of crap in your backend, you say, hey, SendGrid, I want to send email like this. This is the template ID, and this is the data that I want you to interpolate, right? For that. So you can see now we're keeping all of our templates here, and I think this is awesome. I like this a lot. I think that's... Now we just need to pass the actual... we need to interpolate these things, right? And I actually don't remember, like, I think they're using something like handlebars. And we will just, yeah, we'll pass them. Actually, if I just very quickly go to one of my existing templates that actually work, we have, as you can see, several of them. I don't remember like what templating engine they use. Maybe handlebars or some shit like that. I don't actually know. Okay. Can I use like AI for this? I don't want to be manually. Can you adjust those interpolations so they fit the SendGrid dynamic template? Oh, yes. This is why I love AI. I don't have to go through the shitty HTML and update all of this crap. Oh, whew, so nice, man. This is the work I want the computer to do for me, always. Oh, so nice. Okay, meetup title. I mean, we should probably call this event title, right? We should like not have things like objects in here, so we'll just flatten that out when we pass it to a template. Beautiful. Oh my god, so nice. Let's go. Okay, that seems kind of broken though, doesn't it? SendGrid templating. Dynamic templates. Like, do they... SendGrid dynamic templates docs. Okay. Wow. Panosa, man, thank you very much for coming, my dude. I appreciate you very much, dude. Very much. Let me ask like Gemini now. Let me ask a few AIs. Is this valid? SendGrid dynamic template syntax. I'm unsure which templating engine are they using. or if it's their own. No, this is not valid syntax for SendGrid templates. Okay, please fix it up. Let's see what happens. Okay, let's see. Yeah, all right, let's... I'm gonna save this. We're gonna preview. Show test data. Okay, let's try this thing out. I mean, is this the most fun crap? Nah, I agree, but it's part of the project, so we need to finish it. Raps, good evening, buddy. How you doing? Flatten out the objects. I will pass these properties as a flat object. All right, let's see if we can finish this one quickly. And then we can do a test email and just test it directly from the actual platform. And then we are good there, I think. Just continued the meetups part from yesterday. So now just doing the notification part and just creating SendGrid dynamic templates. So yeah, we can have a template to test with. Give me all the properties as an object so I can test it with SendGrid's data test. Wow, poor AI needing to understand what people mean. It's insane. Okay. So now we're gonna go to preview, nothing, right? We're gonna show test data, and then we're gonna try to paste this crap in here. There we go. So it is interpolating it, right? So it is interpolating it properly, it seems. So that's good. I like that. Honestly, I'm actually... What the fuck is that, bro? I'm going soon, Matty, as well. Enjoy the gym. I think I'm going to go as well in a couple of minutes. Because my gym works until midnight, so I also need to do it. Okay, preview, design, test email. Send a test email. Yes. Email testing. Create test. Oh, no, actually, no. This is testing different clients. I'm going to try to send it to myself. And then go to Gmail, and then go here. Yep. As a starting point, that's great. Yeah. That's awesome. Yep. Nothing to add really. I'll modify this offline, off stream, to just to be maybe a bit nicer, but I think that's great. Amazing. Okay, beautiful. Yeah, that's it. Now, of course, what we need to do is we need to go here, and we need to, maybe we can also Wait. In the meetup notifications worker, we need to pass these to the dynamic template data. In simple words, I have moved the HTML part to SendGrid. So now we just have to inject the data we already have. Das Raihu. Good evening, buddy. Thank you very much for leaving that. This stream is typically about Programmer Network. It's about, and tonight I'm just building some sort of, I'm finalizing these, subscribing to meetup events that I'm creating here. So when users subscribe, they get notifications. So it's like a notification system for, imagine if you go to meetup.com and you say, I'm going to attend some workshop or whatever, then you need to get notified. So we're kind of closing in on that feature. Anonymous, good evening. Thank you very much for leaving a message, man. Let's move that. Let's actually, I don't know why. Yeah. Let's encapsulate that into a util inside meetups email TS. Of course not. I mean, you don't use SMTP. You would get blacklisted very quickly, right? So that's typically not what you want to do. You can't use your own email unless it's highly rated on the internet, which it isn't in most cases. So in simple words, no. You need to use an external service to send emails for the sake of not getting, ensuring that your users will in fact receive your emails, right? So setting up an SMTP is fairly simple, but that for the business sake, that doesn't work. So that's why you have to use Amazon SCS or SendGrid or basically any provider that has been hosting an email service for decades or years, where it's actually trusted and etc., right? This is actually weird. There should be no discrepancy here, but let's see. Okay, I mean, this is computationally correct, you could say, I think, for the most part. Let's do one thing. Let's say meetups.email.types.ts. Not going to keep this crap in here. And then, yeah, we need to import this bad boy. Formatted date. What a terrible variable name. Let's call this. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Nah, don't do that, man. don't do this stupid shit, man. Yeah. Oops. Okay, cool. And then prepare event notification time. Yeah, that's also a terrible name, but more on that in a second. So what do we have here? Event URL, event. Then we get the template data. Right, I think it was something like this, right? Then we need to go here. Need to update this garbage thing. Wait, what was this? I forgot. I actually hate these names still, but either that's what it is. And I think maybe lastly, what is the... I mean, yeah, what we could do from our network, right, is we could take our primary color. Actually, if we go to like Tailwind, whatever, and then how can I get a hex of this? Okay, ALS. If we take the hex of this, right, and then we go here, and then we where is it? Yeah. I suppose it's this one. Yeah, I don't know. Do I like that color? No, but yeah, I actually don't care. Let's just update it. Where is this blue crap? At least for now. All right, cool. I don't know. Let's leave it there. It's fine. Okay, good. I think with this we're done. I think. Yeah, some of this kind of sucks, I suppose. So we'll need to. I'll need at one point to yeah, fix it. Okay, going back here. Let me just check one last thing. Is this? Did I copy the right template ID? I did. So that's good. Skipping notification. Yeah, fuck that. Yeah. So let's review this code now. Yeah, this could be useful for like our Prometheus or not, or Grafana, or some place where we want to actually like, yeah, or even we have this bullMQ locally for at least testing, right? So yeah, remove on fail, false, remove on complete, true. It is transactional. Where do we, at which point? So we create a transaction here. Where do we commit it? We commit it at the end. Okay, sure. If it fails, we ignore it. We just try to process the others. Yeah, all right. Do I have an instance of an app in here or this dot? No, I don't. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I think this is fine. I think this is fine. It's just that I don't know why are we not getting any data here. It doesn't matter. Okay. So if we go back here now, we want to update this cron job, right? Back to 5 minutes, right? So this is what we want. We don't want it to run every 5 seconds. That's crazy, right? So let's do this. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, cool. What? Front-end URL. Oh, I see. Yeah, that's a bit dumb. Okay. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's not really dumb, but all right. No, actually, let's leave it. Let's leave it there. I just need to add this to the env actually, so I need to remind myself to do it. Then we have the rest of the stuff for graceful shutdowns and stuff. That's fine. That was already there. Initialize bull MQQ and worker for meetup event notifications. So when the app starts, we initialize this. I suppose, yeah. Okay, let me just check one thing. So what is... let's actually ask the AI. What does bull MQ uses Redis for exactly? And does it use persistent Redis features for anything? It relies heavily on Redis primitives. Okay. Didn't I have like a way to connect to my Redis, or actually to view the Redis? So this is our Postgres, right? Yeah, this is our Postgres. So we could, in fact, I thought I actually had it here. Kubernetes, Postman, Klein. I mean, we... actually, I'll do this off stream. Okay. All right, guys, let's actually round up. I need to go to the gym. So let's see if there's anyone still left here who has a question or something that I can help with. Otherwise, we round it up. How long have I been streaming today? For 1 hour, 45 minutes. Perfect. That's kind of what I planned. So let's see if there's any questions or any remarks or anything interesting. Otherwise, YouTube and Twitch. Otherwise, sure, please hit me up. Give me 1 second while we wait. I think it's redundant for junior engineers that are trying to get a senior level role to try and code without AS. I mean, I don't think you can hold off, right? That's the problem. Yeah, I actually, it's a hard question, Josh, right? Like when I was learning to program, this was in like, I don't know, many years ago, and we learned from the books. Even YouTube wasn't there, right? So I would be a liar or an asshole to suggest you to do something as crazy as ignore the fact that you have the most powerful tool in human history for learning, right? I don't think in human history, literally, there has ever been a tool as powerful as this, right? Which means that it puts more responsibility on you as individual to try and use it properly and understand things genuinely before you can move, right? So for instance, you need to find a bottom-up and top-down approach of learning and mix it up a lot when you're learning new concepts. So for example, oh, now I think I've learned something new. Okay, well, also use AI in almost like a reverse engineering way, so it can quiz you on the things if you actually know them or not, right? So I don't think that you can. I don't think it's possible to not use AI, right? I think it's just it would be almost silly. So, and the world is changed. The world is different, right? I don't think that there's ever going to be a programming job where you will not use AI. So you kind of have to use it in order to teach yourself how to properly do the work. You will not, there's no developer on this earth who goes to work and doesn't use AI, which means you have to find that balance for yourself. So for sure you must use it, right? It would be very irresponsible of yourself, for yourself, to not use it, right? I mean, I wouldn't, don't use these roles. Like roles mean very little if they're not justified by the outcomes at work, right? So junior, senior, mid-level, these are also very often roles that you can be a senior in one company and then someone else might not treat you as one in a different one. So try to use AI in a way of like explain this concept to me as I was 6 years old or whatever. You don't have to. Yeah, don't worry much about these roles. But again, it puts a lot more responsibility into one's hands. All of us, I think the whole world is becoming very much dumbfied, stupefied by this AI. And I am also worried for myself because each one of us depends on it a lot. I think the main difference is that I was just fortunate to learn to code before it existed, because if it existed when I was learning to code, I would have used it 100%. There's no question about that. So it's just like literally a set of random circumstances that led you and me to be in a different spot. But fundamentally, right, it's if I had it, I would have used it 100%. No question about that, right? So if somebody tells you otherwise, they're just idiots and you should ignore them, right? So if people had AI 40 years ago or 400 years ago, they would have used it in the same way you and I do. So if somebody again says otherwise, they're just idiots and you should not listen to them, right? So that's kind of it. Alrighty, well, I guess that's it. Josh, everybody, those who still here, I wish you guys an awesome one. I'm gonna go to the gym now myself as well. And yeah, I'll see you guys some other time. Have a good one, everybody, and peace out. Bye-bye. Ciao. Yep, gonna go to the gym now. Yeah, yo. It closes at midnight, so I have 1.5 hours left. So yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. You gotta do what you gotta do. I'll see you guys another time.